Hey everybody, welcome back to Cineplex. My name is Manny,
Not one.
and today we're going to be discussing our thoughts on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the latest movie from Quentin Tarantino. And let's just go off with what we liked about it first.
Shouldn't we spoilers?
Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah,
Do spoilers. That's fine. Spoiler warning to all, because we might say something that might warrant a spoiler. Otherwise, well, just the end is really the biggest spoiler, I would say.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't watched the movie and you're interested in it, I suggest you find out what happened with the Sharon Tate murders and the Manson family first, just so you can have an idea of what happened, and then go watch the movie. So yeah, the biggest thing I liked about the movie was the characters of Leo and Brad Pitt. Those two really carried the whole movie. I mean, it was mostly about Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then about how he was just trying to fit into the new Hollywood era in the 60s or whatever, since he used to be like a black and white cowboy. And did you notice that when he was in the movie, he had like that light stutter?
Yeah,
And
every now and then.
it would happen like when he was it would happen like when he's nervous or something, because he had it when he was talking like Al Pacino, or when he was trying to psych himself up for like a shoot
Scene.
scene. So I thought that he the character he was trying to do, it worked very well. Like the way he was all insecure about himself, and how he was like, it was just nerve wracking. It felt like how he viewed his life, which opened up for some comedy, because every time he broke down and like teared up, or like it was the whole people in the audience were laughing in my theater. Were they laughing in yours? Yeah. So I like that. And then Brad Pitt, those two, they had like a friend, like a best friendship thing, and you can tell the bro love, and it worked well. I mean, we never seen them before on screen. I did see that after watching this movie, I read some other reviews, and people really liked like Brad Pitt's character. I kind of liked them both. I didn't like one more than the. Maybe I liked like the character itself. Like Brad Pitt was more of a cooler guy, but I like both characters. I mean, Leo was fucking doing amazing things, because he had to act like that guy, Rick Dalton, the character he's playing, and he had to like act how Rick Dalton would have acted in that scene that he was doing in the movie, within the movie. You know how?
And those other movies.
Yeah, in those other movies. Yeah, so it just shows this broad. It just really shows how like good of an actor Leo is.
Yeah. I also didn't like one more than the other. Like.
Because people loving Brad Pitt, saying that he stole the show and everything. I didn't think he stole, but he was cool. I mean, I liked him too, for sure.
Performance-wise, I mean, there was more of Leo.
Yeah, for sure, there was more Leo.
But I still didn't like one more than the other. But like you said, because of Leo's character, there was more to show than Brad Pitt's. Brad Pitt's was just the one character.
Yeah, but Brad Pitt was cool as fuck though. He
was
laid back.
Like, I did like him
as
his
a character,
as like that.
Like, I would like to see that character in like another movie, or like something like that. But what else was I gonna say? So, what were the scenes that you liked from them? Like your favorite scenes
overall? Well, a lot of it was those scenes they had of them recording stuff, like where Leo's recording stuff, and
like with the little girl in that bar.
Most of what I liked was like the talking stuff, like the scenes where it was just talking.
Yeah, every scene that had, because it's fucking Quentin, you know, his dialogue is like, gonna be on point.
You know that's what it's gonna be about. Yeah, like that's what you're getting yourself into. But that's most of what I liked. I didn't like. Let's see. I felt like.
Well, in contrast with like The Hateful Eight, which was fucking dialogue from start to finish, this one had like much less dialogue than that. But like every scene that had dialogue was a good scene because of the dialogue.
Yeah. I can't think of one specific one.
Because
other than the ending.
The ending was amazing.
Because the ending just kind of like happened all of a sudden, like. At least to me, that's how I felt. Like I was kind of chilling there, and then like it just happens.
It's definitely a slow burn, and then once you get to the ending, it kind of like at the it was
you up all of a sudden.
So it was more like it was worth it. The slow burn of the slow burn you feel in the movie. Once you get to the end, you say it's worth it. Yeah, it's the ending is satisfied,
like a reward.
Because getting into what people may not like from the movie. was it was kind of slow. A lot of uncomfortable silences. It was like people, you just see scenes of people driving around or people walking around, doing their thing, watching a movie, like with Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate. But I feel like, well, any scene with Sharon Tate, he's just putting that in there just to remind you, like, oh,
she's there.
Like, she's there, and this is happening during the same time where she's there. So that was fine. But you just wanted to go back to the scenes with, like, Leo or with Brad Pitt. Yeah. But, yeah, there was a lot of quietness in this movie, which you really don't really get from a Quentin movie. I mean, usually you get either a lot of dialogue or a lot of action-packed bloodiness everywhere. But this is more like a freaking, like, for the most part, it was like a laid-back movie. Just watch these two dudes play their life and try to adjust. Yeah. There was some scenes that had a lot of tense until, like, when Brad Pitt goes up to that ranch. Like, that, I felt a little tense in that scene. That was cool. That was probably one of my favorite scenes. That whole scene there was...
When I think about it, that scene was pretty good.
Just there. I mean, nothing ultimately happens, but the whole scene in itself, it's like, it was tense and you're glad it happened.
It just weirds you out, like...
Yeah.
Because it's like... There's this feel to the whole thing, and then all of a sudden it's just like weird.
It's just yeah, and that's why before that, I mean, the movies, you get a little slow, and then you feel like there's a little tense there, and then it slows down again. So, but then once the end comes in, you're pretty much satisfied. I mean, I guess we could talk about the ending since we're talking spoiler.
Yeah. Well, before we get to that, like, I felt like you said with the Sharon Tate stuff, like it's only there to remind you that it has something to do with the movie. Yeah. But like you said, like if you don't know about all that stuff, and actually when I got out of the theater, some guy was like, "Did you guys like the movie?" And he didn't like it. He was like, "I give it like a 5 out of 10." But the girl that was with him, she was like, "What the hell was this movie about?"
Yeah, that's why I set you up for it. I was like, because I knew about it, and that I knew when I walked out, I was like, damn, if I didn't know anything about like those murders or the Manson family, then I don't think it's enough for you to enjoy the movie just watching Leo and Brad Pitt. You have to know that because it has that continuous tense throughout the whole movie with Sharon Tate and stuff.
Yeah, but even so, like that's gonna help you a lot. But even knowing, like, the movie still feels flat, like through like most of it, because you're like everything is happening, and it does feel, a lot of it does feel like a Tarantino movie. But even in all his other movies, that have that, you still feel that something is happening.
Yeah,
the story is progressing, especially through the dialogue, which is what I like about Tarantino movies. Throughout the dialogue, the story is progressing, and in this movie, you're like, you're just watching these guys.
Yeah, it's not the most exciting story. Like if you were to pitch this, like if you had the idea for this movie.
This was Seinfeld right here.
It's a whole Seinfeld movie. Yeah. But yeah, like in saying that, like if you didn't make this movie and you had the idea and you were pitching it to somebody, like, well, I want to make a movie about these two guys, and then they're asking you, okay, well, what happens? What's the story about? You're gonna be like, well, if you didn't have that Sharon Tate ending, like if that wasn't there and it was just Leo and Brad, this wouldn't, like that. This movie for sure would have been super flat.
Yeah, like literally nothing.
Like if that ending didn't happen once he got to the point where he moves away to like Paris or something, I don't know where he goes to Europe.
No, to Italy.
Like that's pretty. If it had just ended there, like it would have been like this movie was pretty. Like it had some enjoyable moments, but it was pretty bad in the sense where it doesn't have that extra tense that he needed. That whole Sharon Tate and Manson thing to have that like balance of what he was going for.
Yeah, and I forgot what I was about to say. So yeah, it feels flat throughout like most of it, and then like I said, like the story, there's nothing really going on. But what saved it for me, like what made all of that enjoyable, despite the fact that it was flat, was their performances.
Yeah, the performances were.
It's like they just blew it away.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Yeah, like coming out of the movie, of course, like compared to other Quentin movies, I didn't like it as much. But like as the next day came, I just kept thinking about the movie, and I liked it more and more. And like I would for sure watch it again.
I've already want to watch it.
Yeah, I want to watch it again. I want to see it now that I've watched it, I want to go back and notice new things or try to see it in different ways. Because I was going into it, I was like, all right, fucking Quentin movie, let's see what the hell's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But now that I know what it is, I feel like I enjoyed it even a bit more. So watching it the second time. Mm-hmm. And coming into that ending, I really didn't expect that. Because I was like, oh my God, okay, now they're getting to the point where Sharon, the fucking murders happen. But since Brad and Leo are next door, like, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna like save her, or are they gonna just witness the murders happening? Because imagine he did the true ending. It would have been a fucking horrible ending. It probably made me feel a little
been, like, complaining about it.
Yeah, it probably made me feel unsettled at the end.
Yeah.
But then I guess because they were going in to kill her, right? Isn't that what he said? Then, they go into the wrong house. I
think
they were gonna.
It's the fact that he came out and they're like, oh, it's this guy. So then they just got the idea of taking him out too. Like, okay. I think that's how it was because they were.
Unless they really thought it was that house.
No, because when they originally got there, they were parked in front of the other one, looking at it. And like they knew where they were going. I guess they were just like waiting to like get the guts to do it.
Right.
And then Leo comes out, so then that's when they find out, oh, it's this guy, so let's take him out as well.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I guess that could have been it. Or they could have, yeah.
But yeah, that was a little weird. Like that, because when they go up, I was like, wait, is that Leo's house?
Yeah, that's what I want to go back to see. I was like, why would they go to Leo's house if they knew? Unless they didn't, I don't know.
I'm just assuming that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
They wanted to take him out as well.
Yeah.
Like, they came up with that at the moment.
Yeah, and then seeing how Brad Pitt was all high on that cigarette full of acid. That dog scene with going back to like the first part of the movie where he's about to feed his dog, and you see him like slowly take out the dog food, and I'm like, all right, well, what's the point of all this slowness with the dog food and all that? But it's all set up to like at the end, okay, about seeing how trained that dog is. It was all set up to show you that Brad Pitt's gonna fucking. I didn't think he was gonna do that, but now looking back, I see why he did that with the food and everything. It's just all built up, and then
it just picks up.
Like the movie picks up. I didn't. That like
it just starts ripped happening. Them apart. Yeah, and then it just keeps going. Everybody went crazy.
Yeah, everybody was going crazy, especially when we got the dog food right in the face. She just kept slamming her in the face.
That girl just screaming throughout. Oh
yeah, yeah, that was funny. And then of course when Leo fucking finally blow torches.
That part.
I didn't know what the hell was going on.
The best part in that whole thing was when he gets out of the pool and he like does those little steps to the thing.
I didn't notice the little steps. I didn't notice
you know when you get out and you're like trying to run but with like little steps.
Yeah, because he didn't know what the hell was happening. He was just like, this girl just comes in with a gun and it looks like her face is all bloody. Yeah, and she just starts
shooting. Like glass on her face.
Yeah, she just comes out with that blowtorch. But then ultimately, when it comes to the end, he goes to his neighbor, and then in the beginning of during the beginning of the film, I liked how they showed that. Oh, he knows that this big director, how do you say his name? Roman Polanski. Yeah, Polanski. And he's like, oh, he just wishes like. That he can like approach him or he notices him, and then at the end when the neighbors find out like what the hell happened next door, it goes full circle, and Sharon Tate survives and he gets to, his life was going downhill already because with the acting he had to do, he was forced to go to Italy to do a spaghetti westerns, but now because of this ending that was originally for Sharon Tate, now it happened to them. He gets introduced because Sharon Tate invites him over, and now he's in with Hollywood, one of the biggest Hollywood directors, Roman Polanski. And then I noticed that the title didn't come up in the movie, and I was like, did I miss it? I didn't see the title in the beginning of the movie. But then it slowly comes up at the end. I
didn't even notice. It didn't come out in the beginning.
Yeah, it didn't come out in the beginning. I don't think so. And then it says, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was like, all right, it was a fairy tale. Like in his fairy tale, fucking Sharon Tate survives, and this guy, makes it back into the Hollywood scene. It was a nice little fairy tale, I guess, since she survives. I guess he was trying to when he was showing those Sharon Tate things, kind of like showing how innocent and nice she was, and how maybe she didn't deserve to die. I didn't know she was pregnant, and then I searched out. I was like, oh shit, she was pregnant.
Yeah, maybe like her, so that you can assume that you're gonna feel bad about it later.
Yeah, but that's why I was like, oh my god, if he really goes for that, the real ending, this is gonna be a sad ending. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad he went all full Quentin at the end. That pretty much.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
That pretty much bumped the movie up for me. And even though I was enjoying it, that really bumped it up for me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it again, just to see and sit back and just really enjoy. Not really wondering what this movie was going to be about or what's going to happen next. Yeah, just sit back and enjoy Leo and Brad do the thing. What do you think about, before we end, what do you think about the Bruce Lee thing? Forgot about that.
It was funny, but I mean,
there was a lot of people complaining.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, not a lot of people. Not a lot of people. But there's some people, like her daughter.
I didn't like it or dislike. I didn't really care for it.
Well, but like the way he portrayed Bruce Lee, like you thought it was.
Well, I mean, from what the general stuff you see of Bruce Lee, it just felt like that was it.
Yeah,
like, yeah. Just exaggerating, I guess, a little.
But like the way that, I guess, he was
trying to make him seem too cocky or something.
Yeah. But I mean, this isn't a fucking true representation of what happened. This is just.
It's like a satire.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
like right word for satire.
Trying to like exaggerate things.
I thought it was funny when Brad Pitt slammed into the
car. It was hilarious.
And then that was just build up of being like Brad Pitt's a fucking badass, so he's able to do that.
Once again, trying to show his who he is.
The one thing that we didn't need, I guess, it was the whole thing that he might have killed his wife.
Yeah, because it doesn't go anywhere with it.
Yeah, he might have killed his wife, and that's why he didn't want to work in that. Yeah, I mean, it could have been something else, but now it was just something, we didn't need that, I guess.
We didn't need it, but I thought at one point they were going to show what actually happened.
Yeah.
And then they just...
I forgot about it.
I assume it was an act, like it was... Because they're kind of implying that he like shot her with that thing. Yeah. And I'm assuming it was like they would show how it happened, and we'll see like it was an accident. But like the fact that they just kind of something, I don't know. But the fact that it just like stops there, I guess it kind of leaves it for you to like like, did he really kill her? Did he like, was it an accident?
For me, I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. I just
I forgot about it.
I could have done without that.
Still, it's like, I don't know. It was pointless.
But either way, I thoroughly freaking enjoyed this movie, and I'm sure you did too, right? And yeah, if you guys if you guys watching this, you guys watch the movie. Let us know what you thought about it below. How does this rank in your overall Quentin movies? Yeah. Because I mean, once it's over, you can tell like all this. Even in the middle of the movie, you can tell it's a Quentin movie, even though it's like slow at some point.
It did feel like, it only happened once that I can remember. You know how in a lot of his movies he does a lot of those quick cuts to little things with like big sound.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
And then that happened once, but it didn't feel like they nailed it. It felt like you tried.
Well, if you're watching the movie and you're wondering if it is a Quentin movie, just notice all the feet.
Yeah.
And there's feet in every other scene.
And like huge, the entire screen. Half of the screen was a foot there.
I don't know. It's no surprise to me at this point, but the dude likes what he likes. All right. Well, let us know what you thought about the movie below, and as always, see you next time.